Hello, baby boos. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Ugh, we are going to have a special Love Off the Grid, Love Online Valentine's Day Live, where your girl, me, Chris Farah, will recap the last episode that has been uploaded of Love Off the Grid. And you know what? It's definitely episode 4. And in this right now, it's I put the wrong episode number, but I will change that. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Chris Farah, and I do recaps of television shows and other things, different situations on my YouTube. And it's also Valentine's Day. Have I made those things clear? And by what I said in the awkward title of this, it is going to be Love Off the Grid. Honey, TLC, Discovery Plus, and Matt Sharp brings us another just banana show. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm into it. Thank you so much for being here. It is a little late, but however, I have my loves here. Look at Wad is like coming in fresh, honey, saying all the things, like thumbs it up. Please, when you walk in, go ahead, like it right away. It just really helps me. It helps you. It helps Joe and Maisha, and that's who we care about. And Angela. Hi, Marie. How are you? Yay! Okay, so yay! Hi. Oh, Honey Ryder. Oh, look at your little thing. Honey Ryder, my loves, has her and her boo, happy Valentine's Day. Her boo is a musician and has a full band, honey, and they play throughout the Southland. And they played this tiki bar around in Costa Mesa that is like around where I am right now. Just happened to be this weekend, and I was in Houston. I'm really sad about that. Honey Ryder, though, I'm going to come to that tiki bar when your boo plays. Do you understand me? So thank you so much. So yeah, I love you, and give your boo an extra special kiss on this Valentine's Day Eve. Okay, let's get into this episode. This episode wanted to give us this episode wanted to hammer home the conflict, primal conflict in each one of the couples. So I was really, really excited because, it took some time for us to get into them. It took some time for us to get the other person that doesn't always just live on the homestead into the setting of the homestead. And then just like what that would be like for an episode. And now after the first couple of weeks, the honeymoon and Jen's eyelashes are wearing off. And we are confronted with the bitter truth, which is this. Not everyone's for this life because of various commitments and comforts and urges of socialization that befalls one. We are creatures of rituals, comforts, company, connection, and just like sometimes I think of, remember, I don't know, do you guys ever play Sims? You play the Sims and they have you are an avatar and you have a lot of games like this. You have your things you have to get in the day, like this. You have to make sure that your avatar takes a shower. You got to make sure your avatar eats something, and you have to make sure that your avatar has socialization and company. And throughout the day, throughout whatever, it goes down. And then at some point, if you just never gave your avatar any connection, they would be bitterly depressed and they just start crying all the time. This is a real thing. Did anyone play Sims? I freaking loved Sims. I mean, when Sims came out, maybe it was truly, Sims came out definitely obviously on the computer first. That's how old I am. That's fine. And then through different gaming consoles. And I remember my friend Michelle Thorne and I got into Sims. It feels right out of college it happened, 2004, 2005 or something like that. I just age myself. I don't care. And I remember we spent an absorbent amount of time playing it. We were because at that point, I think we were still trying to transition from college to real life. And it felt like running these Sims characters' lives was much easier than our own, Anyway, so if Lindsay is a Sim character, honey, and if Josh is a Sim character, it's not going well for them. So, um, anyway, let's get in. So I'm going to start with Angela and Josh. So, you know, Angela, I mean, the minute that Josh stepped, foot on that property, honey, she felt different about him. And we didn't know exactly why because we've never met Josh before. So we were like, well, what's this? What is his energy like to you right now that feels different for you or not as great or not what you thought, because definitely like, Pool Floaty came in, honey, with that like, yeah, I'm here. Yes, I could work as Jason Momoa's stunt double. Don't worry, I have a bottle of black gel nail polish for when I really need some extra love. But at the same time, like, I'm here, which kind of is like, okay, But what we get to really isolate is that I think that he must have been like looking at her when they first met. And again, it was only once at one time, 5 years ago, with hungry eyes. That those hungry eyes. And when she sees him again, I think for whatever reason, those eyes aren't as hungry. They're a little more like depressing. They're a little like jaded. They're detached eyes, like not literally detached eyes, like he's not running around like, God bless, good for him. But let's just say he's no longer as hungry. He seems like he has sustained himself on like Soylent, and he's like moving through this. You remember Soylent? It's like that. I don't know. Soylent was like some weird drink that like tech nerds were like, Soylent exists. It's like Ensure, and you can make a full meal out of it. And I didn't understand like why that was great because I'm pretty sure I've watched a lot of Big Brother and you can make a full meal of slop, honey, and slop at least has some sort of texture and them not liking slop. They're not liking slop. Okay. That Jason Momoa look like is not into his lady friend. Okay. Yeah, I want hungry eyes. Now, if I knew one other word of that song, I keep singing it, but honey, I don't know. So now Josh has like been trying to do the things around the farm, or sorry, farm's not a farm at all, around her mobile home in high desert of Arizona that he can do. He wants to make himself useful, but it very much absolutely feels like the neighborhood boy who was told to go visit the nice lady at the end of the thing and like be of assistance for her, like he at one point is like, okay, I'm going to try and fix this car. I'm going to try and fix this truck so that we can go into town, so I can go into town because he really needs a drink. And she, honey, just, she lives, yes, like in the middle of nowhere, but also doesn't have a working car. So she is like straight up dependent on, someone to go pick her up. Okay. And he is like looking at this truck like, honey, like that's my ticket out of here, So he's fixing the truck and he's sort of like, I don't really know like how you see me. Is it as a partner soulmate? Or is it a ranch hand? And she's like, oh, I don't see you as a ranch hand, but she feels something is missing. And I think that she decides that she's going to take him on a date. And we already know that she's going to pay for it because like first episode, he was like, I'm so happy to be with older women because they pay for things and they know what they want, which is, for me personally, like everything dried up there. I was like, oh, honey, just like turn those Jason Momoa looks and that height into, just sand for me because it just all disintegrated. But God bless. In this situation, he gets the truck working and they get to a bar, and he's like so happy to be in this bar that he painted his nails. I like to think that there was like a get ready with him, situation where she like got ready and then he just was like, wait, they were shiny. So like, I don't know who did it. Did she do it for him? Did he do it for her? Like there was no black paint on the sides and it's black. Like I can't paint my nails black by myself. Are you kidding me? They're all over the place. But it feels so shiny. It looked like gel. It looked like he was just like, Duke cured. second coat cured, top coat cured, honey. So in this bar, he's like, I'll order whatever, Jack and like 2 limes. She's like, I will have a very watered down. And we're like, oh, okay, what is it gonna be? Like a little water and vodka, watered down iced tea. But then later on, she says that she's getting a little drunk, and I can't tell if it's from the one sip that she had of like his drink or if I didn't hear Long Island in front of the iced tea. She says she doesn't drink because her ex did. He was like an alcoholic. So even being honey in this bar is like not for her. He, however, is like a moth to a flame. He's like so happy. And they sit down, and for some reason, there's like a couple over there, and like one girl is wearing like Amy Winehouse eyeliner, and the other guy lives at the bar, God bless. And they send him over a drink. And like, I'm a little like, well, why would you send over a man a drink? Oh, wait, there's a camera crew. Like, my was just like, why? Oh, the camera crew. And they're just like, this is our chance, honey. Whatever. Can you imagine, just side note, just floppy blue side note, in the middle of God bless Arizona, like at this bar, if you go to this bar day in and day out, all the time, that man that sent the drink lives there. And just suddenly there was like a full camera crew. You must be like, I gotta get in this. Like this is like my moment. So, and the camera shows them, which means they signed a waiver. Be of assistance. Yep. So, hi Shannon. Come on in. Thank you. They both expected the other to be more aggressive. Her reaction after he fell asleep was telling. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So, they drink. She says she's getting buzzed. He starts to feel a little loosey McGoose. And, it isn't like Angela is at her top charm. And I'm not saying she has to be, but Angela obviously has not been feeling like the love. So she's uncomfortable, and she's paying for everything. So I think that there's a part of Angela like that wants to be, and this is where Honey Rider comes in, somewhat courted, somewhat like have that like masculine, like I'm here with my woman thing. But her every action and behavior that led up to this is that of like the masculine aggressor role. So he doesn't have to be that, and he doesn't want to, because he's a pool floaty. He's not a lifeguard. He's not a swimmer. He is a pool floaty. Do you understand me? So he starts having another conversation with another, group of young people, like talking about who knows, honey, that like he's been arrested, like the dumbest conversation. I mean, like the kind of conversation that truly happens at this kind of bar where it's just like, I just had this experience where I was like, there is something that happens to men where if they sit down and they've had like a couple of drinks, whoever they start talking to, it's as if they paid them $250 for a session. And all the secrets come out. Okay, all of them. So he's talking about somehow he got arrested for like a parking ticket, I don't know, or a speeding ticket. Like that sounds suspect. God bless. Okay. And she's just like, can you stop talking? I'm right here. And he's like, well, that's rude. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to you. And she is pissed. She's pissed. And we can tell, mostly because her eyebrows are in a pissed situation. And like, they're cartoon eyebrows. So they really have to like only make one or two moves and we can read her whole face. So then they play some pool. And I think that she finally, and they're wearing, by the way, like kind of similar outfits, like definitely like a couple thing, like they're both wearing army green. But she finally is like, are you attracted to me? And he tries to dance around this question as much as possible. He's like, well, I'm attracted to the way that you mother me. He's attracted to the way you mother her. No. Yeah. Yes. She says she's not looking for a person to be a baby again. And I'm like, oh, okay, girl, then why are you with him? Truly. He has shown you, honey, that he is just like a F boy. Of course, he's an F boy. He wants absolutely no responsibility. He wants to do the absolute minimum. He wants to float around. He wants this woman to maybe jump on him and maybe he'll have a hard on in that moment. But if possible, he's too hot and would rather, like, if she could probably just give him a handy or a blowjob instead. You know what I'm saying? So I think she starts to get it. He says that things were different when they met 5 years ago because somehow she took care of him in like the 3 days they were in that motel together with her friend. And it's such an interesting mindset of like what his end game is. I mean, AKA, he's like, he's a user. And then Penelope, yes, is a free ride loser. And I think that maybe it's a situation where maybe like he was living with someone or living on a couch surfing. And then when she called and was like, do you want to come live with me? He was like, oh, okay. Well, make sure I bring my black nail polish, my UV light kit. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you because she gets it now, I think. And whether she makes a proper decision for herself, I mean, that's where we are. I'm not quite sure. But I am happy the car's working. He must have, can you imagine what his bank account looks like? Remember when she at first was like, and he's taken the 5 years to find, this is the very first episode. She's like, and Josh, his maturity, has his own business now. And it was like window washing, cleaning. And I'm like, I think he lied to you, baby boo. I think that he like maybe helped a friend just like squeegee one window once. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think this man has a whole business. I don't think this man has made like business cards or business flyers. I don't think this man has like put one business card or flyer in not one mailbox, not ever. I just don't believe it. Not anything. Not one thing. Who bought the nail polish? Did he just find it in her like? I don't know. I'm so mad about the nail polish. I actually do like the nail polish. I actually do like the nail polish. I'm not saying he's there's a it looks good on his nails. It could be that it's a little too shiny for my taste. I think I would appreciate like if you're gonna do that as a man, just like having it not be like mirror glass finish, but like a little more matte. But God bless. But Angela, like, you know, I want Angela to obviously realize that she's made like a folly and she, like this is not the one for her. I wish there'd be like someone when he first got the drink sent to them, I low-key wanted the drink to be sent to Angela and then like have some guy try to saddle over to her and be like, it's nice for you to bring your nephew out, or son out, and then just like make her feel a little more desired in that moment. And I would like to see what would happen if Josh felt threatened by another male suitor. I just want to see in those situations if that pool floaty would try and like be at least like a canoe or kayak a little bit. Like maybe, like would he wade through the water to even like move closer to her? Or would he just be like, good, she can have that sex with that one and I'll just swim in? I have no idea. I also, and I've said this already, and I think it's really rude of Matt Sharp that we have not been given any pictures of her like from back in the day. Why haven't we seen Angela like in the height of her stripperness? That's rude. It's mean. I want to see it so bad. I bet she is hot. I think she's hot. So like, I want to see what she was like when she was younger. And I want to see like maybe with some natty eyebrows, what those look like, and what that was. Let's move on. So we're going to move on to Spence and Lindsay. Now, I'm going to also talk about Lindsay. Lindsay and all of the action shots of like them being on the homestead, I think she looks cute as hell. She has a whole vibe, and the vibe is like long natural hair. It's gorgeous and it's like red, and it's kind of has that like beachy wave. They're not near a beach. And she has like cute sunglasses and she wears hats. She loves the shortest shorts possible. I mean, she loves like just cotton jean underwear, which is totally fine because it's hot as hell. But I'm always just like, how much SPF are you putting on them? I mean, she's white, pasty and white. Like at some point I like keep looking at her thighs. I'm like, oh, that sounds gross. But I keep looking at her legs, like, is it all red? Is it red? Like, you must be burnt. You know what I'm saying? Burnt, burnt, burnt. But then it keeps switching over to Lindsay then in the confessional, right? And Lindsay's look in the confessional, and I think that Lindsay is pretty, isn't for her. And it's because what someone did, or her, is they put foundation from here down all the way on the lips. I mean, she must have put foundation and concealer and powder on her lips. There is not one moment of like a lip color. And God bless, she's not a makeup person. You don't have to be, but this is confessionals. I would like a little something. It's like no eyebrows because she's like, it's like strawberry haired. It's like she has a little mascara on, which that is fine. And then it comes down to foundationed out lips. And I mean, why there wasn't like someone on that production team to be like, Lindsay, do you want this like tinted lip balm? Do you want like a little like tinted lip balm of like a normal color, just like a lip color, just like a rose, just like a muted dusty rose, just I mean like, or I don't know, just like some kind of like brownish red, but like a little like just a moment of color. God, it would just look so different because I can never like she looks so jarring to me in the confessionals as opposed to what she looks in real life. Oh, Ramsterdam's here. Yay. So my loves, Lindsay has like brought her friend, who her friend is someone who she grew up with, was her college roommate, my loves. And the college roommate and her, they like traveled abroad. I can't imagine like the shenanigans that these two got in together. Her college roommate, that girl's nice. Now that girl has enough eyebrows for Angela and Lindsay and her. I mean, that girl's eyebrows are just different than the other ones on the show that I brought up together. Her eyebrows just look like, I mean, I'm like, would I have, no, okay, no, I wouldn't. I'm trying to think like, would I have, what my eyebrows would look like if I had not nary ever touched them in the entirety of my life. Because like, arguably, yes, I've like overplucked my eyebrows, like I wish they were a little thicker, but I don't even know if they would be thicker by now. And this one is okay, right? Because we all have one good one. And this one, I mean, there's holes in it. I gotta fix it all the time. And just like, I feel bad. It's like, but this is like the hot sister that like got everything right. And this is like the black sheep. Okay. I mean, it does its own thing. Yeah. None of these girls, and that's totally fine, are like by Anastasia. Not a one of them. Not 10 years ago, not now, no Glossier boy brow. I mean, the other one doesn't need it, but like not anything's happening. That's fine. But her friend comes and her friend like gets like toured around the place. And her friend makes absolutely like no designs of being like, wow, this is great. I mean, it's a little rustic, though her friend's like, what? And you go, where? Isn't this weird? I mean, she's like, it reminds me of, I make fun of my dad sometimes because sometimes I will go on vacation, I'll go on random vacations with my dad where I have to like, like conferences. And if we're in a taxi or not, what's wrong with me? If we're in an Uber, me and my dad, and he doesn't like the area that we're driving around, he'll just talk, like this is, like whatever, like look how depressing it looks here and stuff. I'm always just like, Dad, there's an Uber driver in the car. Like what if we don't know where this person lives? Can you just like not? But like, no. Lindsay's friend has no quabbles, just like being physically and, obviously is somewhat disapproving of the situation. Poor Spence is like, I made this as great as possible. And I'm going to look at you right now. Spence and Charlie have the best setups possible. Both Spence and Charlie are kind of like, they go after their like heterosexual relationships, kind of like in that I'm my king and I've created my kingdom and where is my queen? Where Joseph of Joseph Maisha and who knows who will be there in the future is more like I'm a king, here's my queen, and we'll find our kingdom together, which is, and Angela is like kind of a version of that. Like she has her homesteadness, right? But she like, she definitely they all need help. I guess she's kind of like her queen. No, yeah, Angela is her queen that has a queendom, is looking for her king. Okay, so I'm glad I got through that with you. So, oh, Lisa's here. Hi. Okay, so happy Valentine's Day to all my loves. I'm so happy that you're here. And yeah, like please give that girl some lip color. Okay, so Spence is proud of where he lives. He's not like anti it. He thinks it's great. Like he has this, he has that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he has to get water every week, but that's fine. He has probably going to go into town anyway to get food and like stuff, so. Now Lindsay and her friend decide to like lay out the composting and like do that part of the gardening together. And, that's fine. That's what they're doing. And her friend and her friend's basically like, Lindsay, I have seen you literally run through men, run through God bless, and like, you're not going to stay here. Not ever. She has this way of saying, will this place fit into who Lindsay, and I just want to be like, yeah, who Lindsay is. It's not. Lindsay does not want to live there. Lindsay, I mean, could you imagine? It's almost like a little bit like with Lindsay and Josh / Jason Momoa get together, because both of them don't want to be in a homesteading situation. But Lindsay would be like, okay, well, me and the dogs are here. We go out and make money. Josh would be like, oh, well, me and my wet nails are here. Like, you and the dogs, go make some money. Get on that pedal pusher and honey, just like take them dogs and like pick up some people and like make your pedicab cash. So back to Lindsay and her friend, they have this conversation, and then Lindsay, has to. We've now talked a lot about the fact that yes, Spence has to go into town and get 150, 500 gallons of water. I can't do math, honey, every week, right? God bless. And so it's one of their times where he's now done that. And another part of this series is like, let's teach them non-homesteaders how to do the life. And so Lindsay has to back up the car to the valve and get the water into the tank. And he's like talking her through it, but he kind of does a bad job of it. And she's like bad about it too. And water gets wasted because it spills out. Here's one moment. So the water starts spilling out. And I feel like my first thought would be like, plug it, like make sure it's on it. But Lindsay, the water starts splashing out, and Lindsay runs away from that water like it's acid. It's like, well, you're already hot and it's wet. I mean, just stay there and fix the water. But she runs away like as if Spence wasn't there. All the water would just go to the ground. Like in that moment, I'm like, she's not for this life. She can't even make good decisions, honey. She's not a survivor mentality. We are then, so after she's wasted water and everything, she also like, they have this conversation because I don't know, out of the blue, when he was getting the water, honey, she just adopted another dog, like a sixth dog. The dog's cute, but like, didn't speak about it with Spence, not one. And they've already like fought over dogs. And Spence is like, remember that water conversation? Like, we don't have enough water for you to keep bringing all these situations in our life that all they're going to do is drain us of water. And she's like, well, you're not social and you won't invite me to any of the people around here. And even though I just had my friend here, I'm not social. And so what do you expect from me except to just keep getting dogs? Also, I don't want to have kids. He's like, I do want to have a kid. And I want to be like, Lindsay was like, okay, so I get you like wanting to have dogs, but like, I don't understand that you had to get another dog because you were lonely. Like, are all the other dogs ignoring you? I don't get it. Are all the other dogs ignoring you? Like they won't come and talk to you, but like the new one will? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, if you didn't have a dog, of course, get two so they can keep each other safe in the pack. I mean, get four dogs. Like in that situation, that's the number. That's the sweet spot. 4. 5 is like, but she gets 6. It's a 6th dog. And yeah, I just don't understand her mentality of like, I'm bored, so I'm just going to get dogs. However, I will say this. That's a little bit like my mentality of I'm depressed, so I'm going to just keep buying things. Maybe she's like, all these dogs are different and they all have different personalities. I needed to get a dog that was a little more gregarious. Just a little more of like a charming dog. Maybe all her dogs are kind of dicks or just like really into themselves. Anyway, so this is their impasse, right? Spence is like, why can't you just be chill here and like not like negate it all the time? And like, can we have kids? And she's like, hear me when I say I hate it here, but I'm killing time because I think that in Lindsay, I think Lindsay's flighty. There's something very flighty about her. It feels like she's not in this for the long run. It feels like Lindsay is killing time between this and the next great adventure in Lindsay's life. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Lindsay was like, I've dated for a long time. I'm 31 or something. And we were like, okay, well, boy, you like elder. How many wars have you seen? Jesus. I mean, like Lindsay said she's 31. And I was like, are you? Like, I thought, like, if Lindsay said she was 24, I'd be like, blink, blink, sure. And then when I saw her friend, I'd be like, oh, that seems interesting because her friend, God bless, like, she has some age on that face. That's fine. That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, God bless. So, you know what? I'm going to be like, okay. It's like I have to be slightly mean to Lindsay's friend only because I felt like she came into Spence's house and was mean. Like, she didn't fix her face. I literally or figuratively, like, she didn't have any makeup on, that's fine. But she literally, like, just kind of gave vibes of, like, a little bit all over the place. And I just don't think that you can be in front of someone that does that. At one point, also a telling moment of the Spence and Lindsay thing. So when her friend first comes, a little bit of a jump back. When her friend first comes, Lindsay's like, oh my God, it's great to see you. They hug. And Lindsay's like, so let me introduce you to the most important people here. This is dog 1, dog 2, dog 3, dog 4, dog 5. And like Spence is like, not me yet, right? It was, Lindsay is maybe the pool floaty of the females. Or she's like a splasher. Okay, I really love this metaphor. Lindsay is like a splasher in the pool of love, where I think she makes a big ruckus, where some people will be drawn to her because, like, look at that girl go, she's swimming, but she's not actually swimming. She's just kind of like doggy paddling. Do you think that I should just keep this metaphor going for the rest of my life? I mean, maybe. I mean, this is the gift that keeps on giving. She's doggy paddling. There are people that are full, like, breaststroking. That's, like, I don't know. Is that how you do it? It's like, like whatever, God bless. She doggy paddles. Josh floats. Yeah, so their impasse is she doesn't want to live there, not ever. She doesn't want to have kids. And Spence is like, this is all I want to live. I never want to see people and I want to have kids. Now, here's the truth. You're going to have kids and just never, I mean, those kids are going to have like some socialization. You can't just raise kids without any socialization. I mean, can you? I guess maybe you could, but like, how many kids can you have? I mean, no, don't do it. It doesn't seem right. Yeah, they do seem really very different. And I thought it's the most functional and not playing survivalist. She act like she's settling. Oh, yeah. She turned thinking it would be different this time. She's too neurotic, in my opinion, to embrace raw nature. Oh, yeah. I think that I don't think that she's a grounded person. And I think that in the very small amount of information that I have received about this homesteading movement, there has to be a sense of you being really grounded, of the earth grounded, because it's a very manually labor-filled life with, I think, the propensity for beautiful, miraculous moments in nature, but you have to be that type of person. Um, I'm going to go into, speaking of that, I'll go into Josh and Maisha. Oh God, you got it right. Maisha. I don't remember. I'm so sorry. I just watched the episode. I'm like, I can't remember the lady's name, their throuple, but let's talk about it. And then or anyone can tell me what the name of that person is. So now the last episode was like cut to black, and the cut to black was when the person that they met online was coming to visit them. And then I read on Reddit that maybe they met on FetLife, which I guess is like a polyamorous site. Now, if you listen, this has opened a world for me. And then, yes, I have done some digging, honey, and I've done some digging into homesteading, and I've done some digging into polyamory, and I've done some digging into BDSM, because this couple has all three. And by the way, polyamory and homesteading, themselves are a marriage made in heaven for a lot of people. And I get it, because it takes a lot of hands to live on that farm, and there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of pleasure to be had. Sometimes when Joe and Maisha talk about it, it feels a little bit like a pyramid scheme, where they're just trying to get people to come in on the bottom floor for them to do less work but reap all the rewards. But I don't know. So this nice lady comes, honey, and she's also from Atlanta, and she's like, look, I live in that city all my life, but I feel like I'm better in nature, and I love polyamory in my life because have a lot of love to give, and I like to split it between peeps. So, Mia, thank you, Mia. So Mia, sounds like Bia. So thank you so much, guys. So Mia and Maisha start holding hands immediately. None of like their first banter is like sexual at all or romantic in any sort of situation, but I clocked it. And Mia's like, oh, this place is better than I thought it was going to. And, there's not a wall up. I mean, it's beams. So I was also happy that like Maisha and Joe like must have really like undersold it, Most of the time I'm like, Joe, if you have that one friend that was in that last episode with the beard, and like, can't we just like get like, why don't you just like get some of your friends to come like for like 3 days and just get this house built? Like get some of the dudes, get them all, like get the strong people, just like get them all and just like make up this house. I mean, build this house. I mean, come on. So maybe he wants to do it right. God bless. So, Mia and Maisha and Joe start to talk about what life will be like and how they're going to raise goats and everything. And meanwhile, we don't care about that at all. All we care about is, please tell us more about your sexual proclivities. That's all I want to know. This brings me back to, I watched all the episodes of Real Sex on HBO, right? All of them. Real Sex on HBO, just in case you don't know, was a docu-series from the 90s. It was like one of the first docu-series, I swear to God, maybe not, but it feels that way, of importance for me. And Real Sex was an unfiltered look into some of the cultures and communities and people and proclivities and taboo subjects within the realm of sexuality. And for me, being a very heavily Catholic Lebanese girl from Orange County, this opened all of my eyes. My nostrils opened, my mouth opened, like every orifice became open. Watching them real sex. I loved real sex. There's some of my favorite episodes. There used to be like the one episode was a swinger convention. You know, like I would go to a swinger convention, of course, you know, and I would like be like, what is that? The swinger conventions always was, and I'm so sorry, truly just like people that none of us would want to have sex with. They were never hot. Never. Mm-mm. Having said that, my favorite episode, and I think I've said this before, but I like absolutely can someone, if you know what I'm talking about, my favorite episode of real life, real sex, was the Punani Poets, which was like a female, I think all Black ladies, sexual romantic poetry group. What's it called? Live? No, speak when they speak the poet. It's, oh my God. Slam poetry. Slam poetry. I think I'm right when I say that, where you would, you know, go to a mic and it would be like, my mound of Venus is waiting for your baseball player to take it home. You know, like it was like metaphor, and it was always done in this like very intensely like melodic tone. And at these events it would just be like really like, it would be like couples that you would want, like it'd be like hot couples that would just go to this incredibly sensual event and then like go home and probably just like bang bang bang. I love the Punani Poets. I'm like, sometimes every like 10 years, I look and see if they're still around. Just because I could just leave this life completely and just become one. Okay, so, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I love real sex. And I also loved Cat House, but problematic down the line. Wouldn't believe in a billion years spoken word. Thank you, Linda. In a billion years, if when I started watching Cat House, if you were like, okay, just side note, one of the Kardashians, like husbands is gonna like die at the Cat House and have it be a whole thing, I would not have believed you. But I can't believe that life. Okay, so you know, Lamar Odom, when he had that whole thing, happened at the Cat House, like Dennis Hoff's Cat House, which was a sex reality show on HBO that I'm talking about that was all about Nevada prostitutes. I mean, Air Force Amy and okay, you know, Sunset Thomas. And my favorite was this like Isabella Soprano, which was only like, I think she was the only like season one, and she was like the girl next door because everyone else is like blonde and fake tittied. They had this one kind of like chubby, or not really chubby, but like round girl next door. And okay, I'm just so sorry. This is like a whole thing, but please tell me that you love this. Okay, so, oh no. I loved Cat House and the horrible trafficking. Are you saying there was traffic like those? To me, I thought those women wanted to be there. Okay, well, if that's not true, then I'm so sorry. It felt like all those women were like, we're happy to be here and make money. Okay, God bless. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, God bless. So Isabella Soprano. So what would happen was a John comes, honey, knock, knock, knock. He like rings the doorbell. When there's a lineup, all the prostitutes like come down and they like stand. I mean, it's horrible. Listen, this is not a great thing, but maybe it is. If your viewpoint, which at the time I'm going to like hang my hat on, that hopefully these women wanted to be there and they're sex workers, then this is how they did it. And it was legal and they were all tested. God bless. They seem like a little sorority house, but who knows what actually happened behind the scenes. God bless, God bless. So they'd all sit there and then the man would just like go through and, you know, it'd be like, whatever, whatever. And sometimes I loved that Isabella would get picked a lot. She'd get picked a lot. And I think it's because she had like a non-threatening vibe. And she looked like she enjoyed what she did. Now, Isabella left a long time ago. And one time I tried to deep dive to find out where she is. I think she became like a vegan hippie farmer that does farmer markets, you know? God bless. It's not her real name. So I really had a deep dive. Let's go back to this. So having said that, that's what I care about. I don't really care about whether you have to deworm goats. I don't. Not important. Let's get into what's happening here. Every time Maisha, it's like I wouldn't even know they were into like any kink, except Maisha is the one that will sometimes drop nuggets, right? Like she was the one that was like, maybe realized that like she was a sub to Joseph, but like she really wanted, but like to others that she would be dominant. And she said that. And she reiterates it again because she feels like Gia isn't giving her the respect she deserves. Gia, in her mind, thinks that Joseph is king and her and Maisha are princesses, equal princesses. Not even like one's Elsa and one's not famous, like one's not magical, like both basic princesses. And Maisha's like, no, I'm the queen and you're gonna have to treat me like that. Now we're gonna have to really get into a lot more of that psychology. Because I like, how do you let that be known? I think, honestly, Maisha's first mistake was grabbing that hand right away. A queen doesn't grab some servant's hand right away and like leads her over to things, servant or whatever. Like, that's not, why would you grab the hand right away? It was too friendly, it was too peer, it was too like schoolgirls. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I mean, Mia is interesting, and we have absolutely no backstory besides that she lived in Atlanta in a city, and she's probably been in a polyamorous situation before. But like, sometimes you want to see like where she came from, like pictures of them, and they're like, I always love to see pictures of people like from 5 years ago, from 2 years ago, just like what did like who were you before? Let me see like other versions of you so I can get a full picture. Because she just shows up, honey, and this thing's a going. I mean, I don't care. Again, I don't care about the goats deworming. Do you? I don't care at all. So I don't know what to tell you about that. Like, basically, didn't watch that. But yeah, Maisha wanted Gia to be more subservient, and more respectful of Maisha's rightful place as queen. And I think in the same way that Angela wants Josh to be like masculine, into her, sexually aggressive with her, giving her attention without the like laissez-faire, casual comfort vibe that he's giving, that she, A, will pick the wrong person, and B, also was giving off the wrong vibe. I mean, I don't really want to blame Angela because I think that Josh is truly like neither here nor there in the realm of like anyone worthwhile or of value. But I would be interested to find out what Josh is like in situations where he is dating someone his own age. Unless maybe even if he's dating someone his own age, maybe he always super dates like dominant women. I'm not quite sure. I mean, listen, Josh should just move to the farm. I mean, I don't know why I keep saying farm. Maybe Josh should move in with Joseph and Maisha and Mia. Because you can just really tell him what to do. You can tell that person what to do, honey, easily. I think it'd be really easy to boss Josh around. He's so dumb, right? Go fix my car. Ugh, that one. And yeah, he feels like, okay, I'll go fix car. And then he comes back and he's going to be like, do I get hand job for a car? And you can just be like, oh, well, okay, or whatever. But yeah, he's not a soulmate and a partner for life. But however, we all have to learn that in different ways. And how glorious that we have examples of people going through it so we can not make the same mistakes. I know that Dennis died. Who mistreats lady now? Like, what was the lady's name? Like the mother of the house, like the house mother. Is she still alive? I like to think the woman like inherited it because I don't think Dennis had any kids, but maybe he did have kids. I mean, I think it's like I want the cat house, if it's still going to be there, to be run by Air Force Amy and that other woman that was like the mother. Came to thumbs it up. Thank you so much, Kitty Arcade. I appreciate that. Oh, my little rainbow bright, honey. Thank you. Maisha is the only transplant who seems to embrace the new life. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But let's talk about Jen and Charlie, shall we? So, I mean, as this keeps going, I mean, I'm like somewhat fascinated with looking at Jen's like eyelash extensions and like seeing where we are in the timeline of how long she's been on this mountain. North Carolina Black Mountain, honey. So, it's been a certain amount of time, and she has to learn. Okay, so this is what happens. So basically, they're about to go to bed, and it's like she gets scared at night, and they start to hear noises outside. And now this is where I'd be like, well, I'm gonna hear noises outside. I'm just gonna like chill. But I guess what happens is if it's something like a bear or a big bear, she gets really scared. I still was kind of like, well, you're in that house, like who cares? But maybe the bear is like gonna take away some of their things, like you know, Spence. No, wait, Joseph is a honey maker, and so I mean, you can't let that bear run that honey. So, but at the same time, Jen's like, "Get up, Charlie, get up and make sure that everything's okay outside," and I'd be like, "Why?" But Charlie is such a protector. God bless. He's just like, "I'll find out." He's like, "Bear, go away." The bear like kind of scoots away. He's like, "I'm just gonna go shoot my gun in the air and like scare the bear." Um, a little bit to me is like, do you not have any bear spray? Because honey, when I went to Yellowstone, I mean, they told us about that bear spray. So God bless. So maybe you wouldn't want to put bear spray on a bear, because then if you incapacitate the bear's not going to run away. The bear's just going to be like sitting there like with like pepper spray in its eyes. Horrible. Maybe it's better to kind of just scare the bear away with like a just gunshot, and honey, have the bear like escape. I mean, I'm not quite sure. I don't have Discovery Plus, so I'm having this entire series named. I mean, listen, it's a great series, and I mean, there's nothing that like I'm trying to say, like if there's anything that's majorly like important for you to see, like maybe I would take a picture, but there's like really not. It's just sort of situations and people like coming to grips with them. So Charlie goes and like scares the bear, and the next morning they're like, well, because another part of it's like we got to get these people that aren't survivalists to get on the same page and like get some skills. So just like Lindsay has to like learn how to do the water thing, Jen has to learn how to shoot a gun. Now, I think it's a great idea. Because like if you're gonna really be out in the middle of nowhere like that, and there's guns around, you might as well know how to use it, Sure. And they make a great idea, make a great suggestion, which is Charlie's sister is going to come help her. Because Charlie like would just over direct her. And when she said that, I was like, I totally get it. And also because Jen and Charlie's sister have like always loved each other. Like they're like close. And we get to see an old timey picture of them like honey in a canoe, literally floating in a Josh, on the river, honey. Okay. And they're both there and it's cute. And so Charlie's sister is like, yeah, I'm going to teach you how to shoot a gun and, like do this and you like put that thing there, like, and you're just like, whoop, and you're just like, whoop, God bless. And I've never shot a gun. And I've always kind of wondered like how much the like, is it blowback? Not blowback, like the like that moment of like, Jen works out. Jen's arms are here. You know what I'm saying? And Jen is still, she's a small woman, but like even with them arms, you can see that like the force of the gun still like takes her back. Now, this is like probably the first times that she's shooting. Maybe that gets better. I know that okay, even though I kind of would like to just know how to shoot a gun, I think that the noise and the sensory experience of it would actually probably give me anxiety, right? Because I'm like someone who like, oh yeah, because my heart would start racing, recoil. Yeah, because like this moment happens, you're like, whatever. Like it's the sound of it, the feeling of it, and then the like recoil and all of it. Like I feel like I can already tell that it would just like really be hard for me to like sleep like for like 3 days after. But Jen, honey, in this gun, like she gets business done. Like she just like shoots the target is hit, and she's happy about it. And she kind of has this conversation with the sister, and she finally like says something about her boys and how she was planning on dealing with that, which is basically she's like, I don't really know, because our options are I don't live here, you live here. I live here with you and the boys, the two ones that are younger, or just making sure, like, is there an option of you coming in to live with us in our home? And Charlie's like, I can't leave this mountain. Now, Charlie tries to tell Jen that she, honey, has to let them boys go. That, like, they can't be, like, boys can't be too attached to their mommies. And in the same breath, he's like, well, I can't leave this mountain, honey. My mom lives here. And we're like, cool. How old are you? You're like 50 something? Can't leave your mommy? That boy is like 13. You know. Oh God, listen, the best case scenario is that he absolutely lives at their house for like either hard winters or hard summers of whatever North Carolina weather is. And then during the off time, they live on the mountain until those boys, the two younger ones, are grown. That's the obvious answer. Charlie tries to tell her about Old Yeller. Like, he really makes like some sort of like metaphor, like, yeah, your boy's gotta grow up, just like the time in Old Yeller that young boy had to shoot his own favorite rabies infested dog. And Jen's like, I'm sorry, come again? How is that have anything? What? I, am I supposed to shoot my boys? Are they supposed to shoot me? Like, I don't even know what I'll tell you what I'm gonna shoot, that bear, I guess, if it comes back. That's no one's shooting anyone. So also, you're a mama's boy, Charlie, obviously. So God bless. Later on, Charlie starts to cry during this conversation. And later on, he has like a confessional outside and it's two things. He makes this statement. Before I say what the statement is, there was a conversation that Jen had with his sister where it was basically like the sister being like, I'm so happy you're back in his life. And he's grown up a lot. And Lisa's like, yeah, is he grown up enough where he like wants to be committed? And that part was interesting to me because I kind of was like, is there a part of this equation where Jen thinks that like she's going to come live in this mountain, but that Charlie's not going to like marry her or commit to her? Is that part of it? Or is that residual feelings from the first time they dated? So, sorry. Talk about bees. There are bees, I think, outside my window. I need to find, this is like just side note is, does anyone know anyone in Orange County that will come get rid of bees in a healthy way? Like, we have a whole ass hive. And bees are like dying, like I gotta find and the hive is on the roof. And I have to find, is it in the house? Oh, it's just like buzzing. It sounds like it's buzzing in my ear ball. I need to find like compassionate bee getters that would climb a house to get it on top of a roof. I don't know if I'm gonna ever find that. Okay, so just like I don't know if I'll ever find love. What's easier, compassionate bee people that will come get rid of this hive on a roof, or for me to find true love, honey? I'm not quite sure. Having said that, Charlie didn't commit to them before, and so this conversation happens, and then a confessional happens with Charlie in front of the house and Jen's in the back. In the actual house, Charlie is like 50 feet away having his confessional with the producers, and he lays bare this truth that, he like accomplished things in this life, but it is a huge and deep regret that he made the decisions he did before to not have Jen there the whole time. If he had Jen there the whole time, her kids would have been their kids. And it hits him in such a way, when things hit Charlie, honey, Charlie feels them. Just like a slug. I don't know. You don't want to see Charlie cry. I mean, it truly hurts my heart. So he immediately starts crying, and he goes into the house and tells Jen, like, he's still like Mike, like, they were asking me about things, and the thing I just said was how much I regret not having you by my side for the last 20 years. And Jen's like, well, I'm here now. God bless. Okay. Everyone's giving me book a bee charmer. A bee charmer? Depends if they're yellow jackets or honeybees. Honeybees are good. Yellow jackets not so much. I mean, I think they're honeybees. Bee people on Nextdoor. Check your local college, especially if they have animal science like Cal Poly. The thing about it is like it's two things. Because I did try one, but the problem was there's like insurance you have to have to climb up on a roof. And like the one person I tried to call, they were like, "Yeah, we don't have that insurance, so we can't like climb your roof." And I was like, "Okay, well, those where the bees are." So, I gotta like look into this bee charmer, honey. It's like a snake charmer. Is it like I wish it would just be like some person that could just like play a tune down on the ground and have the bees just like swarm. I don't know him and into like his woven bee catcher. You know how great that would be. He's just like dee 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 dee, and the bees are just like bloop 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 into the thing, and he just like puts a lid on them and just like takes them away. How great! Do you have a tile roof? Yes. I gotta find that out. I don't know about homes, honey, and houses. I mean, I'm not quite sure. It's just it's high. Anyway. Beekeepers Association of Southern California. Honey, thank you for this. Yeah, I like the thing that Lisa like just did like the most basic Googleness, which that's like that I hadn't done. Bee removal, bee removal source in Cali. They save them. Yes, okay, I'm looking that up. By the way, it looks like beer Mouval source, like it looks like beer morale, but anyway, it's not that. Okay, so yeah, again, we're at the impasse where these couples have their conflicts laid out for us and, the docuseries way, and we have to see how this goes, see how it works out. Now, if I know me some Matt Sharp, and I think that we all do, we've all met him and we all have his number. It's saved in our phones under Yes, Daddy, give us more of what we want. Matt Sharp, by the way, is all of our Josephs, and we are all of his baby girls. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what it is. So, having said that, we know what daddy does for us, and daddy likes this is gross. I hate this metaphor that I'm doing, but daddy likes to throw in a curveball and a secret. He loves every couple to be like, but I have a secret, like there's gonna be something that happens to each one of these people that like makes us think that what we know isn't actually all. And I can't wait to find out what some of these are. I can't wait, in fact. Here are some guesses. And I want to hear yours of like what the like turns are going to be. I think Josh Angel's going to find out that Josh has like been talking to like many women. Is still talking to women is like somehow bad, or maybe in his sleep, honey, he says a woman's name or a man's name, but like that's what that is. Maybe Angela. It's like I want Angela to get hit on in front of Josh, but she barely makes it out of her house. But she has that car now. What if Angela's end game was that she just wanted like a free ranch hand and he fixed the car so he can go? That'd be great. So I think with Spence and Lindsay, well, Lindsay's gonna leave again. Or cheat on him because they like played up the fact that he's so scared of her cheating on him. I don't know who she's gonna cheat on him with unless it's like a person that she rescued the dog from. Um of Charlie and Lindsay. No, of Charlie and Jen. Well, I think the kids should come and like see what it's like to live there. Maybe there's a deep dark secret that Charlie's been hiding. Like a dead body underneath the floorboards or something. Okay, and I think that with Joseph and Maisha, there's like they haven't told us anything. I mean, there's a billion things that I want to like have be true with them. I want Maisha to like immediately get pregnant. I mean, I really want them to build that house first. I mean, like we got to get some walls up. And it's like, yeah. I mean, I can't believe they invited another person before walls were even up yet. I mean, come on. Okay, what did you guys say? I like the crazy odd couple, super strange folks. I agree, Lisa, and I like the like subtle difference between 90 Day, where it's like I don't hate any of these people. The person I hate the most probably Josh, but he's not. I only just not like his personality. I don't think that he's like outgunning for like Angela anything like money or anything like that. I think that he's just dumb. Maybe he's outgunning for money. I don't know, but it's like he wants to give something. I don't know what he wants to give, but it looks in her direction, I guess. Charlie doesn't live in the shack. He lives with his mother. Great. That Charlie's mom funds the house? I don't know. Can't she just wait a few years for the boys to go to college? Well, that's yeah, of course she could. I don't know what. Yes, is the answer to yes. But is it that they've just not had any time together and they're just like exploring their rekindled romance? It's like, wait, where did that go? Can't she just wait a few? That's why I'm just like, can't he just move to her house for a few years? I mean, listen, you don't have to give up the mountain life because like. Yeah, just doubt. I mean, is it a thing where like squatters will just find that house and just move in? There's nothing to be done. He'll just lose it all. If your toilet has to squeeze between the bed and the fridge, two teenage boys have no space. That's true. No, that's true. That's true. I mean, there's got to be something though. Another woman. Because okay, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like I don't want this for Jen, but Jen laid the groundwork that he doesn't want to commit. So like after all of this, maybe if they went into town or something and like someone was like, Jen, and she looked over there and it was like this woman that was eyeing them, and then like he had to say, Jen, that's Deborah. I maybe had some things with Deborah. You know what I'm saying? And then we could have like Deborah come over and be like, I mean, listen, I don't know. I would love there to be a Deborah. Okay. I guess Jen needs to raise another boy. Honey, Angela did too. I mean, like maybe wouldn't that always people just move to their one big commune? I mean, not Lindsay, because Lindsay isn't made for this life. I bet Mia hooks up with Joe's shirtless friend, honey. The mountain will always be there, but the boys will only be boys for a few years. I mean, Linda, it literally makes no sense. I'm like, why won't he leave the mountain for like a second? I mean, yeah, you don't have to leave the mountain forever, but like people travel. And I mean, is it like a thing where he has to guard and protect it? He brings up his mom. Is his mom ailing? He has that sister. How in God's name are you gonna be like, yeah, you have to move away from your boys and your young school-aged boys because boys have to be men and they can't be around their mommy all the time. But also, side note is, I'm never leaving this mountain, my mommy. I'm never leaving mommy mountain. No way. Mommy mountain and me are together forever. Don't worry, it's called Mommy Mountain. So Jen, you can move to Mommy Mountain too. You're a mommy. It's me and mommies, only people allowed on the mountain. My mommy and you. You can find someone closer to home that can scratch her itch. Anyway, the rekindled romance gets real old when Charlie squats next. I mean, yeah. Oh, no. Okay, here's a great question for you all. Would you rather squat in the same room of the room that you live, indoors in the room that you live, or like Charlie and Jen, or get a squatty potty and do a Spence and Lindsay, honey, which is just out wherever you want, but you have to dig a hole and hope there's not rattlesnakes around. Which one do you pick? You can never pee in your home. I don't even care if you tell me like, well, you can just you can clean a pee. Like, no, I'm telling you, this is your black and white answer. You either get to pee and poop in the same room, or all of it happens outside, but you have to have a squatty potty, dig a hole, look for rattlesnakes outdoors. Every one of you is saying outdoors. Oh no, here comes Michelle. Okay, so out. Oh, the same. Oh, Marie, you put out. Okay. Yeah, I love that Maria had to give me an outside as if I didn't know what out meant, but I love you so much. It's fine. Same room. I'd rather in the bear's den. Okay. I'd rather in the house trying to find a snakes. Inside. Okay. I mean, oh God. God, I'm I'm just like, it just very much seems like why. I mean, it's you just gotta like make an outhouse. I mean, it doesn't have to be much, honey, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, both Spence and both Charlie and Jen, the answer is an outhouse with a connecting door to the in-house. Jessica, Vanessa, where were you? Don't even tell me that you were just spending time with your loved one on Valentine's Day. I won't hear it. Not in my house. Definitely not in my house, and definitely not on Mommy Mountain. Yeah, okay. Most people are well, okay, no, most people are saying indoors except for Marie who voted twice. But that's V. You know, it's like this is what it is. I could relieve myself in the same room of where I sleep. But I cannot in the same room of where I cook and eat. I actually can't. I would have to do outside. Because I don't think I'd ever eat. No, Brie, I'm with you. I don't think I'd ever eat then, which is, listen, it seems like a great diet, but like I am like I'm a smell. I like smell, you know, I can't even eat fish because I was young and just kept smelling docks all day because I like grew up in Newport Beach and I can't eat fish. I think it smells crazy. And it would gross me out to no end. That I actually couldn't. I would have to do them separate. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would get a Go Girl, which is like, you know, a funnel, a female funnel that cups nicely and helps ladies pee like men. Or ladies pee like people that were born with a penis. Anyway, can you believe I did it? Can you believe I talked for an hour and 12 minutes about a show that's 45 minutes long? Yep. Oh, she-we. That's one's called it too. Thanks, Jessica. I wish you weren't. Oh, I feel bad. Every time someone comes in late, I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll just talk for another hour. But the other thing about it, Jessica, is like, even though I want to for you, I also get cognizant that people just keep seeing uploads of mine that are like 4 hours. They'll like not watch them. So I try and I mean, not always. I try and keep things to like a reasonable number that like if someone wanted to push play, they wouldn't like literally run for the hills or Mommy Mountain when they see the running time of the video. Having said this, you know, I love me some KKC, Reality Life with KKC. So I'm going to leave her a message tonight where I talk about the show. I sometimes leave her rambling messages to talk about it. And she plays them on her podcast as like a recap of that thing. So if you're a podcast listener, definitely listen and subscribe to KKC, Reality Life with KKC, because she's like awesome and smart. And she has like you know, woman has like a lot of followers. It's like, but this isn't like me doing someone a favor. It's like her doing me a favor. So go to her Instagram and give her some love, or give her some love on Twitter and be like, love you and Chris. Don't, if you don't mind. But I will be giving her a bomb ass voice note where I kind of make a lot of the same jokes or same metaphors that I've done already. Oh, great. Michelle McDaniel, I came in late. I just want to say my heart broke for Angela when Josh told her he wasn't as into her as he was, especially since she was worried that she had gained weight. Okay, I know. Okay, so it's like, he could have done, okay, do people think it'd be better if he lied? It was like, yeah, no, I'm totally into you. I'm really sexually into you. Because it's obvious that he's not. He said it, and she was already feeling it. So the way he tried to dance around it is like, No, I just love I'm really attracted. He said I'm attracted to the way that you take care of me, which I mean is the most unsexy thing that in my lifetime I've ever heard. It is unsexy. This boy is so dumb. He can't even hear the words coming out of his mouth. I wonder what if you were to sit him down and be like, what is your end game? What are you here for? It's like the Band-Aid, rip it off. Yeah, find out. Um, okay, I'm so happy you guys love to rewatch. Thank you so much. And also gorgeous. I'm gonna go to Hawaii. My birthday is coming up. My birthday is coming up. It's March 7th. Okay. It's a big one. It is a big birthday. It feels like it shouldn't be because 2 years of our lives were just gone. I cannot believe that this birthday is happening to me, but it is. And half of me is just like, I just want to like just honey prance around Hawaii in my white lace nap dress and live my life, but I just cannot believe, I mean, it's just, God bless it. 29. Lisa, I love you so much. Look at that face. Oh, Lisa. I've always wondered what it'd be like to have red hair. And Lisa, like the sun shining off of your red hair, and Lindsay too, because I think Lindsay has beautiful red hair. It's like I mean, it's maybe because there's so many like blonde people, it feels like gold to me, like because blonde is like overdone. The way the sun shines on the highlights of red hair is almost like, I mean, I think it's like the hair color that feels the most like art to me. Anyway, um, we can also track 2 years from our age. I mean, it's rude. I think it's so rude. I'm just like, really? I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have this birthday now. This birthday now. I didn't get to like really like get in the mind space for this birthday because like the last 2 years just were taken from me and just fast forwarded to now. How rude. It's just, God, it's just like, remember Out of This World? Why do I even, by the way, just side notice, why do I even like not tell you my age when every one of my references scream my age? Okay. But Out of This World, remember that show? Out of This World was like an 80s sitcom, honey, where it was like a woman had sex with an alien and they had a daughter, and the alien had to go back, honey, to the alien, the outer space life, and the alien would talk to his daughter in this glowing crystal thing. But the daughter had a special power, and the daughter's special power was she could freeze time. She would go like this, deek, and the time would be frozen. It's kind of like, and that I must have got it from, remember how Zach Morris and Saved by the Bell would freeze time, and then he would like talk to camera and he'd like unfreeze? That was just a narrative device, but in but in the story, it was like her superpower. You know what I'm saying? I thought about that so many times, like mostly when I'm getting ready. I just like wish that I could freeze time and then like get ready and then unfreeze time and just be like, oh, I have an hour to kill before I have to leave. But then if I still had an hour to kill, I'm sure I'd still be late. But yeah, it just seems really rude that I just can't like time out and then like everyone freezes behind me everywhere and freezes everywhere. And I'm just like, oh, just give me a rest, honey, from all of this hustle and bustle. Oh, I just want to sleep for like 10 hours. I'll get back to all of you, honey, when I'm like refreshed for you all. It just seems like such a power move. But then I always wondered, does that mean that other aliens in this out of the world, like are other people doing that too and she just gets frozen too? Or if other people froze, would she still be alive? Anyway, This show, Out of the World, like definitely was of the same time frame as Small Wonder, but people talk about Small Wonder. Yeah, her dad was. Yeah, her dad was a triangle. Oh, yes, and this was the theme song. Would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar, or be better off as you are? Or would you like to be a mule? Or whatever. Um, God, that was a good song. Anyway, the world does owe us 2 years. You know what, Jessica? I'm so sorry. I forgot to say this because you came in late. I absolutely labeled this video wrong. And I'm going to have to like change it the minute I upload it. Yeah. This is episode 4 that I talked about. I'm just dumb. So when Discovery Plus dropped the series, they dropped the first 2 episodes together. So my first review is the first 2 episodes, and the second review I did is the 3rd episode. And then this episode was the 4th episode, but I got confused and labeled it horribly. And here we are. So, all right, my loves, any other final things? Oh yeah, I didn't see this. Yeah. Wet hair is so beautifully multifaceted. Yes. Yeah. It's like the highlights and lowlights that happen on red hair of different colors. Like when you look at Lisa's hair, it's a little darker, right? Like it's darker than Lindsay's hair, but like when the light shines, it's like the most gorgeous hue. It looks like art. Okay. So anyway, having said that, I do like Love is Off the Grid. I'm going to do my thing for KKC. Tomorrow I'm going to start Love is Blind because your girl was in Houston, did a convention for Lebanese people. Yesterday's Super Bowl. Today I watched the episode and I had to do some like life stuff. And then I really want to dive into Love is Blind. So that is next on the agenda. And I need you guys to, I want to give you some time to prepare for that. Okay. I had tomato red hair for a while and I loved it. Yeah. If you guys know, I did a character for a long time. Maybe I'll do her again, but who knows what life is like. I did like a drag character for a long time. Her name is Fancy, and she absolutely, like, the minute I could, I had red hair as a character. Like her wig is like red. And so so after me telling you I always wanted to have red hair, I got red hair. I would put it on. I don't know if I looked good in it. You guys tell me. If you want to see pictures, I think on Instagram you can look up Fancy the Show and you can see what I looked like with red hair as Fancy. Now, God bless. Also, if you don't know that I've lost weight, I lost a lot of weight during this time. So these are all old pictures. Lisa, Fancy, yay. Can we do it after 1 p.m.? Oh, absolutely. 1 p.m. my time. Yeah. I can't even watch. I haven't even watched it yet. I have to like do work tomorrow. So it'd be more like, 3, 6, 7, something like that. All right, my baby boos. What a beautiful Valentine's Day full of love off the grid and love online with you all. Love live streaming. I really obviously think you're all hilarious. Thank you so much for engaging with me in these comments. Thank you so much for liking this video, for giving it a thumbs up, for like tickling my algorithm. That tickles my heart. Truly, truly. Do you really worry about social media footprint after being fancy? Never. It's much easier. Yeah, I don't. I mean, listen, it is 100% easier to like blame a character for all things, even though you and I both know I wrote that character. I don't know. Yes. See, this is always what happens, and I'm gonna go right now, Miriam. But I love you so much. You can rewatch this. I'm so sorry I have to go. And I'm so happy you guys enjoyed this live. I'm having a little sinus. I can feel it happening. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Oh, look at this. Look at this super sticker. Marie, thank you. That's really, really sweet. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys. Honestly, I love you very much. Okay. A lot of love. Because as you can tell, it isn't like I'm spending my Valentine's Day with my soulmate, my love of my life, my Josh, getting our nails done together, drinking drinks together, waiting for people to buy us drinks together. But at the same time, infinitely more rewarding being with you all because you all can hold conversations. Hmm. Okay, I really appreciate it. You are my Valentine. I love it. Thank you so much for being here. And then, yeah, up next on the agenda, Love is Blind 2. And we'll get into it. I also, in Vanity Fair, which is the private Facebook group that I have on Facebook, if you ever want to join, I also posted a trailer of they have a bachelorette version that happens in Regency time. It's very Bridgerton. I think it's called like Courtship or something like that. They did a full primetime network dating show where everyone, what's happening with my nose? Where everyone, honey, just like goes back in time and everything is like courtly and chivalrous and lovely. And I hope it's not boring because even in their super trailer, when they tried to like talk about the dramatic moments, it didn't seem that like things go down. But at the same time, it's definitely worth a watch for the first few episodes because I mean, unfortunately, I've already said out loud how I wish that would come back and how I wish I could be courted by like gentlemen and not like pool floaties and F boys, you know? Um, Love is Blind is back. I heard it's bad. No, I heard it's great. Kitty, I heard it's great. Oh, I heard it's great. So we can find out together, my loves. All right. So you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at Chris L. Farah. The L is for love. And of course, like I've already mentioned, I do have a private Facebook group, and that's called Vanity Fair. If you want to like share pictures and memes or links, blah 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 blah. And other than that, that is it. I wish you all of the love in the world, the warmth and the light and the love. I'm single, so if you're single, it doesn't make a difference. If you're with someone, I'm so happy for you because I like love you guys. And so if you found your soulmate and tonight is a night where you get to celebrate some sort of love between you, I'm so thankful you have and appreciative that people I love are being taken care of in that way. But for my single friends, and sorry, I don't know what my nose is. You know, love happens in so many different types of relationships. And I know when you see others experiencing a lot of romantic love, it can bring up the feelings of the profound loneliness that universally we have in our human condition. But as Buddhists will say, the radical acceptance of one's present moment allows the actual reality to set in that love is everywhere. And if I can radically accept that I don't have the perfect version of romantic love right now, the minute I accept that, what becomes true is the many different ways I have love in my life that isn't romantic. And whether that's dogs and Lindsay, honey, it doesn't make a difference. So let's take a breath and breathe in the light and warmth and love because this is a day to celebrate love. And a lot of us need it, and a lot of us give it. And I think that both the giving and the receiving is where it's at. So that's it, my loves. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. Okay. Happy Valentine's Day. I'll see you later. Sleep well. Or have a great day, whatever it is for you all. Bye, boos.